What's going on, everybody? Today in this video I'm going to show you guys how to add your own sounds to the Steele Productions engine pack. So this mod is created by my good friend here, Steele. He is the one behind the torque curves on Zmod's latest engines. Essentially what this mod does is it adds a ton of different engines to the stock SCS trucks as well as a lot of popular mod trucks. And what's so special about all these engines is they have accurate torque curves, meaning he modeled the engine's torque curves in-game to match the manufacturer's specifications. So with the proper torque curve, this means in-game, whatever scenario you set up, it would be the exact same as real life. So let's say I take this International E26 motor here and I put a 45,000 pound load behind it in game. Well, if I did the same thing in real life, it would do the exact same thing. And it just makes the game super realistic, and if you're a nerd like me, I want as much realism as possible. And there's a plethora of engines, all the way from the Caterpillar 3406 series, literally all of those engines, all the way up to, different versions of the Cummins X15. The Detroit Diesel 12.7 is in here, just bunch of different engines. But the mod comes shipped with stock sounds, and that's mainly because there would probably be some conflicts in convoy, meaning if somebody had the Caterpillar C16 sound from Zmod but somebody else didn't have it, there would be no sounds, or it would just conflict. And it's better to just have stock SCS sounds, because that means you can really pull the mod out and put your own sounds in. So it's available for free on the Steam Workshop. I'll have a link to it in the description. But however, before we start, there are 3 different programs that I highly recommend you grab to make this a heck of a lot easier. First is the Zmod's definition generator. This is going to pretty much take most of the hard work out of our hands, because there are a lot of trucks in this mod that are supported, and if you want to add a specific engine sound to all those trucks, you would have to go in there one by one individually and do it. However, this pretty much does all the work for us, and it is a super helpful program. I use it all the time, and in the latest version it can also read transmission files. So if you want to do the same thing but with a certain transmission, you can do it. We also have 7-zip. This is going to make pretty much packing the mod into a zip file a lot easier. I heard Windows 11 can do RAR and zip files natively now, but I've just been using 7-zip for years, and that's what I'm used to. I highly recommend this program. And then we have Notepad++. It's essentially the Windows Notepad, but on steroids. I highly recommend all of these programs. Links to them will be in the description. So, now that we can actually get started here, the first thing I highly recommend you do is, if you're subscribed to the mod already, click unsubscribe, wait for this to do its thing down here, and then go and resubscribe to it. That way we're sure we have the latest version. Now, you may be wondering, how are we actually going to get to the mod? Well, you just go to your File Explorer right here, and you're going to go to Local Disk, Program Files, x86. You're going to look for Steam. You're going to scroll down to Steam Apps. You're going to go to this Workshop folder, and then go to Content, and look for the one that has the latest date and time. And then go to the one that has the latest date and time, because this should be the mod that we just unsubscribed and resubscribed to, so it just re-downloaded it. You're going to go into the Universal folder and go to Def, Vehicle, Truck, and then as you can see here, we have all the trucks that are supported, as well as the engines in these folders. So we're just going to go into the freight.xl. This is John Ruta's Freight Shaker Classic XL here. And we're going to go into the engine folder. And we're going to find the engine we want to do here, which I'm going to do the Caterpillar C16, because, this motor's a beast and it has a great sound from Zmod. So I'm just going to take these two .sii files. I'm going to right click them, and I'm going to click copy. And whichever engines you grab, go ahead and grab them. And once you grabbed all the engines you want, you can just exit out of here. And I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste. So these are the two engine files that I'm going to use. Now you can do any engine in this pack, but I'm just simply doing the C16 because I haven't, set this one up yet to use the Zmod sound. Now, you can use any sound you want, but I'm just using a Zmod sound because he includes open defs with pretty much all of his engines. But if you want to use a Slave Jerry sound, a Creechman sound, a Serial Black sound, hell, if you want to use a different SCS stock sound, you can do it. You can use any sound you want. You just got to have the main sound mod. So if we just double click here, we're going to open up the engine file. And as you can see here, we have everything we need all right here. So these values right here, you really don't need these. These are the torque curve files. I really don't recommend messing with these because this might affect engine performance. But if you really want to squeeze out some more power, or you want to make the engine a little less powerful, you can just edit all these values right here. Now, the main value that I do recommend you edit on some of these engines is this one right here. At 400 RPM, it's making 0 torque. What I usually do is I just add a 0.2 right here. Because I drive with a steering wheel and pedals, and this makes taking off with my clutch a lot more realistic, because I do find that these engines do stall out fairly easily. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down right here, and where it says at include sound.sui, this is the file you're looking for. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our sound mod, which happens to be this open def here. We're going to go into the def folder, vehicle, truck, your truck def name. This might be different depending on which sound mod you have. We're going to go into engine, and this sound.sui file, this is the file that we need. So you're just going to go in your sound mod and you're going to look for the .sui file. This is the file that's going to tell the game, or not tell the game, tell the mod which sound files to use. So I'm just going to drag this on my desktop because we are going to need it again. And right here, I'm just going to right click, click rename, and I'm going to copy this name because we're going to be replacing this sound.sui file with this C16 sound.sui, because now this is telling the mod, okay, this is the sound set we're going to use. So once you made all the modifications that you need to do, you're going to click this little save button right here. And we just now set up the 575. We're going to do the same thing for the 600 horsepower. I'm just going to add my little low down torque to the idle RPM. And I am going to replace this sound.sui with the C16 sound.sui. We're going to click save, and now we're done. Well, done editing the engine files, of course. Now we actually need to set up the file, or set up the mod file. You see, what I do is each engine that comes in the pack, I kind of do this and separate them into their own individual pack. Just so that way I don't have a giant engine pack. I'd much rather keep things separate, because if I add something and screw something up, or I mess something up in the process and an engine's not loading in a specific truck, it'll make it a lot easier to hunt down which engine is messed up. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a new folder on our desktop. We're going to call it def. You're going to go into the def folder, create another new folder called vehicle. We're going to go and create another new folder in the vehicle folder, and we're going to call it truck. You guess it, we're going to go in the truck folder and create another folder, and we're just going to call it freight.xl because that is the truck that I pulled the engines from, just to make things a little bit easier. But I do recommend just keeping the names the same, just make things a little bit easier and to ensure you still have access to that engine. Freight.xl, and then you're going to create one last folder called engine. So you have def, Inside the def folder, you have a vehicle folder. Inside the vehicle folder, you have a truck folder. Inside the truck folder, you have a folder called whichever truck it is, and then in that folder, you have an engine folder. And now what you're going to do is you are just going to drag these engine files into here, and this sound.sui file you're going to drag into here. You must have this file in here for the sound set to actually load. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this def folder, right click, click 7-zip right here, or hover over it, and you're going to click on add to archive. Make sure it's saved as a .zip file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just rename this to cat C16 pack. It's kind of hard to type with my keyboard or with my wheel in front of me. And it's going to be a .zip. So, okay. And we're going to click OK. Now, we can actually go ahead and put this in our mods folder if we wish, if the Classic XL is the only truck you want to run, but we want to add more trucks to it. So this is where the definition generator comes in. We're going to run this program, and as you can see here, it comes with two text files. One has the stock SES truck definition names, and one has the definition names of a bunch of popular mod trucks. Go ahead and run the definition generator. You may have a pop-up saying Windows Defender has prevented this from running on your PC or something like that. Just ignore that, bypass it, and then run the program. So step 1 here, we're going to select the Open Definition Archive, which we can actually just take this file and drag it into this bar right here. And as you can see here, it's already picked up that we have the Freight XL. However, I already have that in this text file here called modded trucks. So I can actually go ahead and delete this if I want to, because it's already in this file. But if your mod truck name is not in any of these files here, keep it in there. So we're just going to copy these and we're going to paste them in here. And for the SCS trucks, I'm going to go ahead and do these as well. Drop a line, paste, and you can change the extension to SCS, but I don't really think that matters because the game can read zip files as mods. And you're going to click Save and Close. So as you can see here, it now has become a SCS file. So this is how it should look. When you open it up, you should have def, vehicle, truck. As you can see here, we have all of our mods right here, or all of our trucks right here. And I can go in here, just pick a truck, engine, and then there you go. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to our File Explorer, go to Documents, American Truck Simulator, Mod, and this SCS file we just created, just drag it in there. And again, I highly recommend just whatever engines you want to do, just create your own engine pack out of those engines. So for example, if I want to do the Max Force 13, I would just create a Max Force 13 engine pack with those engines alone. And then once that's in there, we're going to go into American Truck Simulator. I'm doing all this live just so that way you guys can see that it works. I do have some anti-aliasing mod there. I'm going to go into my mod manager, and I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this or not because I don't know if I have desktop audio set up, but as you can see right here, I have the C16 pack right here. I'm just going to load this up here, put this down below my interior fixes pack. Click Confirm Changes, and I'm going to launch the profile. It might take a couple seconds. I do have a lot of mods enabled. Usually I would do a jump cut, but I'd rather do this live so that way you guys can see everything in action. Sometime today. Sometime today. If I wasn't trying to do a tutorial here, this would have been loaded by now, but Come on now, I've played you 20 different times today. You should already be loaded. There we go. So, I'm just gonna... I do not know why that is flickering. Let me see if I can switch the source real quick. There we go. Don't know why I did that. So we're just going to take this Peterbilt 579 for example here. We're going to click upgrade. And I'm going to go into the engines here. I'm going to click content filters here. And as you can see right here, the C16 pack is right here. And we have our engines right here. So I'm just going to drive it. Now you do have to also have your main engine mod active. So for example, the Caterpillar C16 from Zmod, I have to have the C16 pack actually enabled for the sounds to work. Because if you don't have that enabled, the game's not going to be able to find which sound files to use. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear this, but this is the C16 running from Zmod, and it sounds freaking amazing. Anyways, guys, that is how you pretty much use your own sounds for the Steele Productions engine pack. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.